Dreams are a series of thoughts. Imaginations are emotions occurring during sleep. An experience of waking life, having two characteristics of a dream. A visionary creation of the imagination.
Exercise a pen, bring to life the sound effects. Feel the thunder and the wind. In sets of 10, I lift your mind, strengthen up your weakened cells. Generate your inner spirit, leave you with some shit to tell. But still it seems all my dreams come with fucking side effects. I thought I seen the worst, but I ain't seen a damn thing yet. A lot.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna talk about it. This is going to be one of those lives where we're going to go ahead and we are going to set the disclaimer. I know we real chill, but we're going to set the disclaimer because sometimes people just don't get it. So let's make sure that they do recognize what type of live this is. We are really going to take it there tonight. You know, there's a lot of talk, and I know I'm not the first one to actually come up and speak about such a profound discussion. What is that discussion? How smart are we today as opposed to yesterday? Now, let's think about that, right? Let's say even if you wanted to take it into a relationship type mode, how smart are we today as opposed to yesterday? So before we get started, I want to make sure that we know, yeah, buddy, this episode right here is brought to you by, and with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted.
These messages will be right back. What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
The Pinky and the Brain. Yes, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. They're laboratory mice. Their genes have been spiced. They're Pinky They're Pinky and the Brain, 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 brain. Before each night is done, their plan will be unfurled by the dawning of the sun. They'll take over the world. They're Pinky and the Brain. Yes, Pinky and the Brain. Their twilight campaign is easy to explain. To prove their mousy worth, they'll overthrow the earth. They're Pinky and the Brain, 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 brain.
Yes, 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 yes. We are definitely in our mode tonight. Why did I play that? Because that's literally myself inside my head. You know, that's me. Like I just be in my head thinking to myself, is there really something out here? Is there really something different that we just can't explain when it comes to the human mind? Relationships don't work nowadays as long as they used to. Okay, cool beans. They used to work a lot longer. Some would say blah, 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 so on and so forth. Human strength, intelligence, children, brain capacity, what we know now, what we used to know, what was lost. There's so much to be said and there's so much to know. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So before we pull up this first clip, of course, let's make sure we got this straight. Okay, now let's go ahead and do this. So I'm getting ready to pull up some videos. I want to speak on some things. Now, let's just take it from a back in the days standpoint. Why am I saying what I'm saying? So we're going to go through a slight clip, right? That's what we're going to do. That is what we're going to do. So let me go ahead and get myself all set up. My bad. I'm so sorry, y'all. Where are my manners? Where are my manners? Let me go ahead and get this all designed right. Okay, now let's see what we got right here. Wow. Okay, now let's go ahead and do this. So, man, oh man, I'm gonna pull up this first video. Now, this first video has a lot to do with yesterday as opposed to today. All right. So again, when we speak about are we smarter, the whole nine, I'm going to take this step by step and we just going to reach out and we're going to see what's going on with the atmosphere. What really is put out here? Let's see what we got. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's go ahead and get it. Hold on 1 second. Shoot, I forgot to take my phone off of do not disturb. I didn't even see that. My bad. Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right, I got you. All right, so we got this right here. So let's go ahead and pull this up, right? Okay, now I appreciate everybody. Let's see what we got. So when it comes to the contrast, right? The contrast of how we all used to function. Now we're gonna take this slowly. Are we really getting smarter? Are we evolving really? Because I've always known life is supposed to evolve. Okay, now let's remember this live right here. Those of the low vibration will automatically dismiss themselves. Why? Because anything of wisdom, knowledge, and information is going to repel you. Anybody who truly is of wanting to learn, they might be intrigued. And those of wisdomatic mindsets, you automatically are going to find yourself just falling into what it is that's spoken about. Why? Because these are the things that we find it hard to find to be spoken about on an everyday basis, those who actually know how to tap in. So let's go ahead and get into it. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 8:57 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Let's rock out.
Kids today have it easy with their play dates and after-school programs. They don't have a clue the struggle of being a latchkey kid or the fun that came with not having an adult breathing down your neck 24/7.
They were messing with the live. Y'all already know what it is. They mess with the live. I'm going to hit that mode.
Sure, we got a lot of sunburns and broken bones, but it was a rite of passage. Being an 80s kid was pretty rad. There are even some studies that have come out showing that with all the supervision and bubble wrap we have added into our kids' lives, we've not changed the amount of danger that they can get into in a lot of areas. For example, kids get injured at the same rate today as they did back before playgrounds were all rubber mats and plastic surfaces. Hey there, I'm Scott Leffler from Why and How, and here is 17 reasons kids from the 80s are tougher than kids today. Before we begin, make sure you smash the like button. Videos, things to kids to throw. Number 2. Were a great idea. Give sharp, pointy things to kids to throw. Number 2. Kids were actually encouraged to play with fireworks. Number 3. Casts were a badge of honor for kids, and parents didn't feel shame or neglectful when their kids broke bones. Number 4. Slides were taller, and playgrounds were more dangerous.
My bad, y'all. My bad. Sheesh. Oh, my goodness. All right. So I remember the days when, I remember when we actually, man, we were so dangerous in so many forms of fashions. Now, I'm just trying to figure out when it comes to brain function, right? Brain function. Now, we're starting off with how do kids function? How was it when we were growing up playing? The things that we had around us that was so dangerous, was it really dangerous? Was it really just something that really prepared us for a much more larger circumstance that was to come throughout our lives? So I'm just playing this real quick because this video was only 3 minutes. And we're going to really get deep into it. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's go ahead and rock out. Let's do it.
And more fun. Number 5. Piling up in the back of a truck and feeling the breeze in your hair was not only legal, but a pretty good time. Number 6. Being a kid and having a ride up in the front seat without a seatbelt was always a good time.
Now, I want us to really, really pay attention to what's being said. Once upon a time, we were introduced to an aspect of danger much, much earlier. We weren't held from these things. Did it always work out 100% right? No. You know, sometimes there were unfortunate moments where that right there, it didn't end good. It's not the point of this live tonight. I want us to really try to tap into, are we really smarter? Are we really more advanced than what we used to be? I'm telling you, we're going to go super deep into this. I'm just starting out. You know, to this very moment, there are folks who still study Egyptian, structures. See, I want to give us the basics on this. So let's just start now. How do we see children nowadays? Are kids more smarter? Are they really more smarter? Are we really more advanced? Do we really know more? If we know more, then why is history studied a lot more than what is to come to the future? Let's think about that. Let's go.
Especially when you were at the wheel. Number 7. Kids were allowed to play and explore without a constant watchful eye. Number 8. SPF 1 million wasn't a thing. Peeling skin was the norm. Number 9, helmet. To deal with. Number 11,
Can you guys hear me? Godly, man. See, they messing with my live. All right, so I'm gonna leave this video down because they are messing with the live issues. So we're just gonna listen to this, okay? So I think a lot of what we're gonna do tonight, we're just gonna listen. I apologize, I can't give the visuals. Let's go back in the day when we used our imaginations, because they keep messing with the live too vicious. All right, so again, even down to that right there. Now, I don't agree with that. I am very, see, that's one thing that I can say. I'm happy is no longer something that's the factor. I am glad that restaurants do not allow smoking. I am glad that most public places don't allow smoking and vaping, because, you know, the fact is health issues are real. And we're not going to sit up here and negate that. So I get it. I get it. That is something that was back in the day. You know, we were kind of accustomed to going to that uncle, aunt's, grandparent home, whatever. And you walk in and smell Marlboros, Newports, Camels, Virginia Slims, whatever it was. You saw the butts in the ashtray. That's a real thing. I am very, very thankful that we are moving a lot further away from that. So let's keep things healthy as well. I don't play with that. Let's keep it healthy. Let's keep on going.
Heating up your SpaghettiOs on the stove by your lonesome happened all the time. Number 12, the back seat was a playground where you could sit any which way. Number 13, there was a very likely chance that your mom smoked while she was pregnant with you.
All I'm going to say is we be surprised what's a lot more closer to home than not. Again, over here at this station, we don't hide from what the real truth is. And you know what we do? We take it in. We soak it in. We just kind of reflect on it. We don't shame nobody for recognizing it. No shame over here. We just want to make sure that we know, how did we get here and where did we come from, right? I'm telling y'all, we're going to get real deep into this. So we're going to keep going. Let's go.
Number 14.
And again, the topic is, are we really smarter now as opposed to back then? Are we really tougher? Are we really evolving? Is humanity evolving, or are we going backwards? I don't know.
Being a latchkey kid was the norm. Letting yourself in the house after school, getting your own food, and trying not to burn the house down was a daily thing.
Hey, true story. All right, story time. You guys ready? I remember I was in the 4th grade. It was 3rd or 4th. Only reason why I'm saying that, because I don't remember if it was the summer or not. It's a true story. You know, long before I hit YouTube and you guys knew me, I was famous a long time ago, back around 1987 or 1986. That's right. My black behind set a whole apartment building storage room on fire. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Dad had to be called from work. Got my butt whooped. It was a hell of a night. So basically, we had one of those early days from schools. We had a half a day. Oh gosh, man. Thank goodness nobody was hurt. I'm serious. I'm not playing. So I was one of those kids. I always had a fascination with a flame, like whether, you know, because my mother, she liked to burn candles a lot. My mother burned candles often. And I always remember when I used to sit and talk with her in a room, like I would just like while she's talking, I would just stare at the flame. I just stare at it. And it was something about the flame that just had a very majestic, it just had this, I don't know. It was like the way it danced, as my mother would speak, you know? And I would just stare at this flame. And I had such a fascination with it. And so I remember me and my friends, we were done with school for the half a day. And I found a book of matches in the storage room. It was the wooden box kind that you slide out, not the regular flip. Yeah, so y'all hip, right? So I found one of them push out, and it got the striker on the side of the box, and it's the wooden sticks with the red flint. And I remember my buddy showed me this trick where you can hold the box and like just pluck it and flick the match, and you'll see a flame throw, right? So it was so cool to me. I'm just this little kid in the 4th grade, and I'm so fascinated. Man, I'm just so fascinated by a flame. It's just something about listening to somebody talk while a candle's lit. It just seems to hold your attention. I don't know what it is, right? So I went on ahead. I took the matchbox. I flicked that match. Now we're in the storage room, and if anybody know how storage rooms are set up in apartment buildings, you got these closed-in gates, and then you see, everybody's stuff. Everybody's stuff is in there, and everybody has their own little gate. Man, I flicked that match, and it went smooth into that gate, and the gate was locked, and it was just a pile of clothes and nothing but plastic bags. It was endless clothes in plastic bags. And I flicked the match that, for whatever reason, perfectly went through. It was just nothing but net right on through that little bristle of the fence. And I remember we were trying so hard. It was me and 3 of my buddies, man. We were trying so hard to get that flame out. And I remember on our way out, we were running and we started panicking. So the way it's set up, it kind of goes in a circle. So like it goes up, you can make a right, you go up, and then you can come back around. But to the left is the door. And I remember, man, we started panicking once we saw that flame hit inside that gate and we could smell the smoke. And I remember we were running down that little hallway. And then we made that right. And then once we made that right, we went on ahead and we could see the flames of the shadows of the fire on the brick wall as we made that right. And we screaming our behinds off. Finally, we made that circle, came right back to the fire. We're looking at it again. Then we knew to make the left, and we got up out the door. By that time, man, sprinklers coming down in the whole apartment building. This is an entire apartment building. This is probably about a 10-story apartment building. It's a true story. This is my past, right? And I remember by the time we finally got out the building, me and my 4 friends, we was soaking wet. And all I saw was police, ambulance, fire station people, and the news. And when I saw all of them, right behind them, I saw my dad standing there like this. Ah, boy. Let's just say that was the rest of my summer. That's right. I think we had about 3.5 weeks left. Yeah, I wasn't going outside. I didn't do nothing for the rest of the summer. I had to wait till we went. I ain't never been so happy to go back to school, boy. I ain't never been so happy to go back to school. But it's a real thing. We really were. We were a lot more dangerous. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play the rest of this video just off GP. What we got? We ain't got but some seconds left. And then we're really going to get into what we're going to talk about. Are we really as tough? Are we really as strong? Are we really as smart and as intelligent as we used to be? Let's look at some psychological aspects of what we're going to speak about. Let's go.
Number 15. Young kids would watch their even younger siblings. Number 16. Playdates weren't called playdates, and kids didn't have adults breathing.
I was 10 years old. Parents was at work, didn't get home till around 6. We got out of school around 2:30. Baby sis Shelly, I'm like 10, Shelly like 4. No, I'm like 11. Shelly I'm about 10 or 11. Shelly like 4. And I used to pick my baby sister up from daycare until my parents got home. At 11 years old. I'm 11, she's 4. I do remember that. I remember those days. And I had to walk her home. Sometimes I used to ride her on the handlebars of my bike. Me at 11, right? I had a BMX. Like, you know, back in the day with the pegs and everything. And I got my 4-year-old sister. I would like sit her on my chest facing out, and I'll put her legs to hold over the handlebars. And then I'll put my arms around her, right? So my arms will be like around her, and I'll clutch her. And I'll hold on to the handlebars, and her legs are hanging over the front bar. And I'll ride my baby sister home from the daycare. She was about 4. I was about 11. That's a real thing. I used to watch my baby sister, and whole time, both of us needed a whole damn adult. Both of us really needed an adult, but my parents had to work. Yeah, let's go through it.
Down their necks the entire time. Number 17. Sneaking cigs was not disgusting. It was a sign of coolness.
We are not going to glorify that. That was gross. That was disgusting. And you should be ashamed of yourself. Okay, let's keep it on moving. We're not going to do that.
Some people might argue that today there are a lot less injuries and death due to helmets and seatbelts, and they might be right. All I know for sure is times were a lot easier. And not only did we survive, but it made us stronger. So much was different back when we were kids in the 80s. But were they actually better? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
My bad, y'all. I was muted. This is why I asked this question now that we're here. Let me go ahead and set my bad. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, fam. So this is the question I have when it comes to the brain stimulation. Are we really smarter now? But I hear people say, no, kids aren't smarter now. They just have more access to technology. Okay, cool beans. Well, once upon a time, we didn't have access to knowledge, and we the whole adults. So I just want to know, how do we then come to moments like this in time?
Planet in our solar system takes the least amount of time to orbit the sun. What planet in our solar system takes the least amount of time to orbit the sun?
Let's listen to the response. Let's listen to what we got. Let's go.
I don't know. My thinking is we see the moon every night. So I'm thinking, since it comes around regular every night on a routine basis, I don't know. So far, my logic has not been good, but why change? I'm going to go with the moon. I'm going to lock in the moon.
Just look at my face. Okay. Okay. All right. You're going to lock in the moon.
Because I know nothing about astronomy.
Don't know a damn thing about it. That's a whole adult. The ones that she's going in competition with are the very children that she could be the mother of. I need us to look. We're going to go all the way back to Egypt. Y'all don't understand. We're going to really dissect this whole human intelligence bullshit. And I'm trying to figure out, where are we when we come, when it comes to the either progress and or what will be considered, there we go, the stagnation of it all. So are we stagnant? Are we actually smarter now? Or have we actually maybe taken a few steps back possibly? Let's go.
Well, here's the good thing.
Okay, so here we go. We're really going to get it right. So we're going to now look at this part. Now what I want to do is I want to speak about the human mind and capabilities. Okay. Now me, I love martial arts. And one thing, I've always loved about it is the dynamic of mind over matter. When I first heard about mind over matter, it was through many martial art videos. Now I know y'all like, oh, Smitty, this cheesy, whatever. I mean, but it's something about chi or ki, energy, whatever, right? Your chakra, not chakra, chakra, right? There's something about these things that, when able to be transferred, tremendous things can take place. I want to ask you, do you believe possibly once upon a time we were able to do things that we now aren't capable of doing on a mass level? Do you think that there are things that we were able to do once upon a time that we don't do today? Let's take, I don't know, this for example, mind. Okay. All right. The mind. Interesting. Now, this is where I am. No problem. This is where I am. Watch this right here, right? So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at whenever the brain responds, whenever the brain is going through certain functions, what takes place. All right. Now, if we really were to use our mind, right? If we like really truly used what it is that we're capable of, I don't know, what does that look like? Now, I know movie. I get it. I know it's just a movie. But is there not some form of possible basis of a truth? Considering none of us have never reached that potential in which we know. What do you think?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
But what would happen if, for some reason, we ignore somebody unlocked 100% of the cerebral capacity?
100%?
Yes?
It could basically make a triangle, just like that.
Excuse me, sir.
you would make a triangle. Which, it's not to be funny. Now let's go to a deeper part of it. When it comes to brain function, right? You want to know what's fascinating is what I've recognized with different aspects of how this works. Now let's look at this right here. All right. Using 100% of brain capacity, what, I don't know, takes place? Now I'm learning this just as much as the rest of us. Let's see.
Pop culture lied to us. You won't turn into the most powerful person on earth if you manage to use 100% of your brain. Simply because humans can't use 100% of their brains. Around 60% of our brain is estimated to be gray matter. The other parts are responsible for different functions like breathing and motor control. But they aren't all operational all the time. We wouldn't have enough energy to fuel the brain if that were the case. So, if we did use 100% of our brains, we wouldn't be superheroes. We would have less blood circulating through the rest of our body and feel exhausted all of the time.
Oh, man. Did we not see the contrast? Okay. So apparently, now, do you know what I see that as to be? What I see that as to be is this. Well, simply being said is that, all right, for example, watch this. Watch this. I think I have a pretty decent example. Okay. Andre the Giant, for example. Do you know why primarily he passed away? Now, yes, it was technically heart failure. Okay. Andre the Giant passed away technically from heart failure, but what it is that because of the gigantus, I guess, disease, whatever you want to call it, that he had, his body grew too large for the organs. So look at it like trying to put a lawnmower engine into a V8 vehicle. It's not going to hold. It won't start. So when they say that we will be exhausted, I do believe that is because the full capacity potential that the brain can reach, I do believe the human body can't handle. I do believe that we are limited simply because we're not capable of handling it. We're not supposed to. Thus, all answers are not supposed to be revealed. Ain't that something? All right. Now we're going to get into the next one. Now let's look at this. All right. Now, what I want to look at is this. What takes place? Is there an actual reaction, right? Is there an actual reaction? What does it look like when your brain responds to information, right? They messing with the live. Boy, they messing with the live. Let's go. How does the brain look when reacting? Now that right there, that is what your brain cells look like when responding. Look at that. Information. And what that cell does is it puts itself around what is being stored. You know, the information you receive actually is visualized in your brain. We had no clue of this, right? And that's what the cell does. It reaches out to what it is that produces. Now, again, let's go back to it. All right. Now, all right. So we see that, right? We see that, right? The actual cell reaching out, right? Amazing. The idea, whatever, like, see, the second dot is the thought. We're looking at what the cell does actually when the brain is retaining information. This is the actual process of how the memory, mind, and what we retain works. I want us to really look at this. See, I know it's boringish. Look at how your cells wrap around thoughts. So when you're trying to figure out why you hold on to certain memories, whatever it may be, there is an actual physical, visible process that takes place that science has been able to unlock. Okay. Amazing. Now, let's go even deeper, right? See, we're going to keep going into this, right? We're going to go into this. So now let's make sure that we got this overstood. This right here, this clip is a lot older than what I'm showing at this point, right? So this clip, and I just want us to understand something as far as brain function, okay? The time and era in which we're in, okay? The time and era in which we're in. One more again for the win. Please pay attention.
Planet in our solar system takes the least amount of time to orbit the sun. What planet in our solar system takes the least amount of time to orbit the sun?
I don't know. My thinking is we see the moon every night.
Now, okay, cool beans. It's not the best example. Now, we go further and we start to recognize and we start to realize, hold on, and we start to realize now why. Now, we go even further into it. Now, at what point and stage do we come to when it comes to all of this as far as the brain function, how we operate, what it is we think about? Why is it that we feel the way we feel about what we feel? See, my whole mission is to try to get us to recognize, where are we mentally? You know, I don't really care about a back and forth. I want us to get and recognize, where possibly are we mentally? Let's go. Let's get it.
That we don't use our entire brain processing power, and we use something like, I think the number that goes around is like 10%. How accurate is that statement?
0% accurate. All right, think of it this way. Okay,
Yeah.
let's say
Now, how often have we actually heard that? You know, me, myself, I've heard the same thing. I think we only use about, 10% of our brain. Same thing with the ocean. We've only discovered about, about 10% of the ocean. Same thing. I want us to make the correlation of this, because I was speaking to somebody and they were saying how it's possible we're not actually from here. And then I'm wondering and I'm saying to myself, okay, well, if we're not from here, then how are so many things directly correlated to what it is that we consist of, the natural organic pattern of how all of this processes and works? There's a connection. There's a reason why the human body is basically about the same amount of percentage of liquid as it is physical mass as the planet Earth. It's a reason why what is of the earth is conducive to what it is that would be of longevity of human life. We can't go to Mars and think we can eat. So there is a connection in all of these things. So I want to make sure that I tap in on all of these aspects along the way. This right here is just the personal spiritual journey. This right here is just something for us to kind of gather and collect information. Let's get it.
we didn't use 90% of our brain, and I was unlucky enough to have a stroke and lost 10% of my brain. You're not going to hear me say, oh, no problem, that was the 90% I wasn't using. But I think it does speak to the fact that we have direct conscious voluntary control over less than 1% of our brain. And all.
Wait, what'd he say? Hold on. Run that back.
But I think it does speak to the fact that we have direct conscious voluntary control over less than 1% of our brain, and all the rest is out of our control. And in some ways, that's the most powerful part of our brain, the part we can't control.
This popular idea in the media.
Okay. So watch this. I wonder how much of us do we actually control your functions? Like, just take a moment, put the palm of your hand in front of your face, just look at it, wiggle your fingers. And then as you're looking at your fingers move and each finger move and how your palm rotates and moves, right? Make a fist, do whatever you want to do. Just move your hand around in your face and think to yourself, how much are you actually controlling the functions of what is taking place? Smitty, of course, we know it's the brain that's doing that. You want to know what's so fascinating about that? You want to know why I say this right here? Like, just look at the function. Look like how, like all of this. See, it could be considered mechanical, right? Have you ever thought about what really keeps your heart beating? Yeah, we're gonna go there tonight. Okay, so all right. Again, all right. I know I sound like I be smoking too much. I'm crazy. This ain't for everybody. All right, you see this hand? You see how it moves. You see that? It functions. Okay. Am I doing that? I want to know what keeps the heart beating. Listen, everything else we do with the human body that we know of, watch this. Look at my nostrils. Watch this. You ready? I used to do this in school. Here we go. I used to do that in school. Okay, look. Again, look. But I can never make my ears move. Now, wait. I want us to pay attention. Yeah, I think I'm tripping, man. Listen, this is only for a select few, I promise you. This is what makes your heart beat. So you control your heart to beat. Again, listen. Make your heart stop beating. Now you get it. Man, now you get it. Can you make your heart stop beating? Or if whatever it is causes the heart to stop beating, it just stops, right? Your lungs, your kidneys. Like, I want us to really think about the most vital, because watch this, right? You can lose a limb and still survive. There's not one main organ you can lose and survive without it. Do we really control the body? Yeah, we just went somewhere. Do we really control the body? Can you control if your organs stop? Now look at my hand again. Watch this. See the eye? Watch this. I controlled that. I did. Watch this. Look at my face. A smile's coming in the near future. Wait for it. There it is. I controlled that. My lungs pumping, my kidneys functioning, my bladder, appendix, heart, my brain. Do I control my brain? Or is my brain controlling my body? And you know something? As much as I ask these questions, I have to make sure that I definitely pull up who definitely knows how to speak about this. And with that being said, everybody, we got to welcome. You knew I was going to go there. You knew I was going to go there, fam. Like, real talk. Like, are we really as intelligent? Our minds, whatever. So, I'm going to give you the floor. Let me finish what I'm saying first, real quick. So, all right. So, are we really people, like, as smart, if you want to say, right? Because when we look at things, I'm about to give you the flow, Lola. I got you. So when we really look at things and I think about it and I say to myself, right? Like, to this very day, there are people endlessly who still study how pyramids are built, but we got all the technology in the world. And you would think, looking at it, it's simple. It's just the big, half of a diamond. It's just the top half of a diamond. How hard could that be, making, a sandy tip of the iceberg on land? But then we also look at things like this right here. And then we say to ourselves, how does a person reach the state of mental elevation to where you can accomplish this form of power? You got the floor, Lola.
So,
We getting into it. Let's go.
I can't stay too long because I'm in the midst of some things right here.
I ain't mad at you.
I'll just say, like a few minutes, that the perception of control is severely misunderstood. I think because humanity is intelligent and it is explorative, right? That it takes its intelligence to be the intelligence. See what I'm saying? We've just discovered that memory. We don't know as much about memory as we thought we knew. For instance, water holds memory like your brain holds memory. Is it a conscious thing? You see what I'm saying? It remembers. Is the water in your brain what you're actually being used to remember all of your, experiences? If not for the water, would you even have memory? So where is memory? That's a very complicated conversation. But if you think that, well, in my brain, I remember. You just that's just gonna be your existence. But I realized when I read the breakdown of the percentages of how much control we have over our faculties, that we really don't have control over anything, like not at all. And the perception that we do allows us to say things that, or let's say do things that doesn't make any sense, that causes more problems because of that, let's say, that misinformation of control, right? So take, for instance, okay, I'm gonna say this might be a little deep. Take, for instance, remote viewing. I don't know if you guys know about that, but remote viewing.
No. Break it down briefly. Just what is remote viewing?
Remote viewing.
Briefly.
It's a program that's funded essentially by governments to study essentially being able to see in another place without being there, using just your brain.
Neurological.
And so the trials have done on children mostly some adults, but it's a real.
Hold on, wait. You went out. It stopped at it's a real whatever you went out. It's a real
No,
what?
saying
sorry.
that it's a real thing. But most people will say, well, you can't see beyond what your eyes can perceive, like, from inside your body. Technically, that's not true, but you wouldn't know if you don't actually explore yourself. And I think the age-old saying that
You went out.
I think the age-old saying that says "know thyself," it's not saying get to know how you feel.
Right.
That's not. It's
Okay.
it's a holistic perspective, but you have to really ponder on that to understand, because you wouldn't understand how the human body can remotely complete a task like remote viewing if you don't take the time to get into you, the actual person, not the body, but the actual person. So, there's a lot that we haven't discovered about our bodies, let alone the thing that animates our bodies. We haven't even really discovered that. So there's a lot that is missing from our education about the world, about our condition, and about our station on just in this 3D world.
I want to ask you this just while I have, the slight time, because I definitely look, I just want to tap in on this. So, do you believe that once upon a time humans did tap in, we were able to function at 100% capacity? And if so, could you just give us a little bit of insight on what it is that you know?
I'll say this. When you say humans, right? That's a
Okay. How you okay. Those of, let's say, bipedal, okay. Ancient bipedal creations of Earth. How do you see at once upon a time who we call humans today, whether Neanderthal, whether early, late, Anunnaki? Yeah, I went there. Ancient Egyptians, ancient Kemet. How? You got it.
Well, just follow the math.
Okay.
Homo sapiens sapien, which is our breed of human being, right?
Yes.
Only 200,000 years old. That's it.
So you're telling me
we have monuments that are older than that. We have writings that go past that. And I'm talking about sophisticated culture that is beyond our oldest skeletons. So one has to question, if you find these skeletons and we know that these skeletons are no different than how we are today, they didn't build different than how we are today. How is it that before them we have evidence that something more of brain power was being used on this planet? Yet our species 200,000 years ago when we began is literally no different anatomically than we are today. How is that? So when I say, the word human is an interesting word to use, I truly believe that brain capacity, it is a thing that is utilized in a species, like to the degree we're talking about, but that species isn't necessarily us. That's my belief. I believe that we are derivative, sure. But I believe that being a derivative, we have, let's say, similarities to that species that could use more of their brain power, but we're not there because we're a derivative. And to make it even more complicated, Smitty, being a derivative, we have the capability, but something like we discussed before, something happened to ensure that we don't. And that is my adamant belief that is written in scripture, that's written in history, but it's so covered or coded that you wouldn't even see that story. But it's there. It's there.
So then what is it really that we like? I'm trying to figure out, why is it that we have all these technologies? Like, listen, I'm talking about surgery, like, because you know something, I hear often the pharaohs, like, for example, right here, right? And this is so brief and short, right? Okay, so so here we go, right here. So this is really what I'm trying to figure out about this right now. Okay. So this right here, boom. So when I look at this, the reason why I say not from here, okay, cool. The technology was so huge. To this day, Lola, we study how the pyramids are built. We study the ancient scripts, the pictorials that are written, the whole time, all of that, right? But for some reason, I just can't seem to figure out, how do we not recognize that folks like, for example, right here, boom, all right, boom. Let's pull this up real briefly. All right, back. So,
but it was,
I didn't know King Tut had so many health issues. King Tut had so many deformities, and he actually passed away very early. From what is known, he passed away in his early 30s. And the reason being was due to health issues that weren't able to be adhered to. I need you to get where I'm trying to make the contrast. All right. We can't even figure out how they built those, structures, right? How were they so intelligent, but they couldn't heal what we can do today, every day? So let me play this real quick.
Was the image the program makers created of what the legendary pharaoh probably looked like that deeply shocked viewers. That's because it's a presentation that clashes harshly with the beauty of Tutankhamun's funerary artifacts. King Tutankhamun ruled some 34 centuries ago, from about 1332 BC to 1323 BC, during the period of ancient Egyptian history the academics call the New Kingdom. He came to the throne aged about 9 or 10 after the death of his father, Akhenaten. Tutankhamun's mother was most likely Akhenaten's sister or cousin. At that time, members of the...
So already we're talking about incest. Let's keep going.
The Egyptian royal family normally married siblings or close relatives. Eminent French Egyptologist Marc Gabold believes that Tutankhamun's mother was Nefertiti, Akhenaten's cousin. In any case, the truth about exactly who Tutankhamun's mother was remains unsolved after 3,400 years. But we do know that Tutankhamun carried on the pharaonic tradition of sibling unions by marrying his own half-sister, Ankhesenemum. The couple had 2 stillborn daughters whose mummified fetuses were probably
stillborn. Okay, so everything, I'm just pausing at those moments, everything that we hear about today. Now, these are things that we have big knowledge on. We're able to actually proceed and see these things. Like, I didn't know that we actually have the technology to know who the father is before the child is born at this point. The technology is out of this world, but we still study to this very day. How did they build this big old triangle? Follow where I'm going. Let's go.
Buried with their father. Still, Tutankhamun was just a child when he ascended to the throne. We can only assume that there must have been influential figures who actually ran the affairs of state. It seems that one General Horemheb took the position of Lord of the Land, while Grand Vizier I was a powerful man who was to succeed Tutankhamun. During his reign, Tutankhamun rolled back some of the religious reforms that his father had instigated.
A lot of what was taking place, to fast forward to, is primarily because of health.
Strange animals, statues, and gold everywhere, the glint of gold. In
Right.
fact, it was to take 8 years of painstaking work to clear the tomb. The mystery of Tutankhamun has remained the cause of the pharaoh's premature death. And since
Now, looking at all of this, this is what I want to focus on, Lola. Do you see how well carved that is? What tools were used? Now, again, I'm talking about how, like, you know, I watch videos of casting. I watch videos of how things are structured and put together. Lola, how are these cuts so clean?
So when it comes to artistry, you got to remember that the Egyptians were artisans in every sense of the word. So during my trip to Egypt, I actually went inside of an underground tomb of, let's say, one of their dignitaries, and the tour guide showed us exactly how those carvings are, you know, how they are developed, one, and two, how they're so precise. So they come in essentially first with ink, just regular ink, and somebody kind of does an outline, and then they have people come in that specializes in each part of the body, like hands, faces, bodies, clothes, things like that, right? And then they have someone come in that does the hard chiseling, and all they do is just chisel along the guideline that the ink has made. Then they have people come in, because obviously it's been a lot of people chiseling because that's their specialty. Then they come in with the people with the paints, and that's very different. So it takes a lot for one carving to be made, and it's not just one artist doing anything and them having like some exemplary technology. They're just using a methodology that honestly we don't even use today. When we do painting, it's just one person that gets the credit, not 22. See what I'm saying? So you know.
So hold on. So Lola, I'm sorry. So you trying to tell me this? My bad, fam. I got you. Boom. So you telling me this right here? Because I really got like three main questions that I want to ask, and we're gonna get So look, this right here. So boom, on history, right? So when I look at this right here, boom. So when I go here, boom. So Lola, what is this right here? Hold on. So you telling me on this type note? Am I on or something? I don't know. All right. So let's see what we got.
Let's dive into the fascinating world of ancient Egyptian chisels. These tools were essential for carving stone and wood in ancient times. Crafted from bronze, copper, and stone, these chisels were built to last. The design of these chisels reflects the skill and artistry of their makers. Chisels came in various shapes, each serving a unique purpose in carving. Egyptian artisans used these tools to create stunning sculptures and hieroglyphs. The craftsmanship behind each chisel showcases a deep understanding of materials. These tools were not just functional, they were also works of art themselves. Today, these ancient tools remind us of the incredible skills of past civilizations.
Lola.
So next time you see a sculpture, think about the chisels that made it possible.
So hold on. So nowadays, watch this. Now, this is when I say, are we really as smart? So watch this. Hold on. Right? So this is what I want to know. Lola, in your opinion, all right, Let me see something here. Which is more amazing to you? That in which we just saw, or this right here? Now, this is now. Okay. This is how we do it now. Hold on. My bad. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Right here. Boom. That's how we do it now. My bad. It's right here. Boom. So now that's how we do it. So, once upon a time, like, I really want us to look at, like, okay, I mean, that's dope. But like what you see right there, once upon a time that was done by hand tools. So again, I ask, are we really evolving or are we going backwards?
I would say neither, and I'll explain that, but let me go back to the tools that they showed on the video here. You notice that those tools were made out of copper, bronze, or wood, right? If you consider the fact that that is the height of the technological age of ancient Egypt, that's the height, and then you look at what you can find in Saqqara, which are the infamous black boxes, you'll find that those tools were attempted to be used on that I forgot the name of that material that those black boxes are made out of, but those black boxes could not be penetrated by any of those tools. Yet those black boxes are clearly marked and created with tools, like major tools. But the most utilized tool or tools in Egypt could not penetrate those surfaces, which tells me that they attempted to do something that they had no idea that they were doing. Like if I know how to manipulate granite, right? But then I come to something that's harder than granite and I'm trying my best to manipulate it, that should say to you, I haven't encountered this before. This is my first time. Now, if I created the box, this is my first time encountering it. You see what I'm saying? This is what I mean by the Egyptians had a very high culture. They did, but some of the stuff that we see in Egypt, the most ancient of Egyptians that we know of, did not build those monuments. They found those monuments there and some of them attempted to, make it seem like it was theirs. I've seen evidence of that. And then at other times, there is no evidence of who did anything. We're just assuming that it was built by the Egyptians because there's people called Egyptians living there now. And that's a hard assumption. It's like, 4,000 years from now, there's this new group of people on the planet and the White House is still standing. And they're assuming that those new people built the White House because they're there around the White House. They just don't know who American is.
Lola, so you're telling me right now that possibly if me and a bunch of people from DC decided to go and move to Easter Island, and if we there long enough, we could possibly rewrite history and tell people we moved them stones there and carved them faces. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, that can happen, but I think honestly, right, from what I'm finding, a lot of the natives have never claimed to build things that you see. They've always maintained that those monuments that you see were there when they got there. Like, they've always maintained that. So, it's rather interesting, to say the least.
So now when it comes to this very last sequence, which is like a few seconds, I'm just trying to figure out when it really comes down to it, Lola, like the human mind and how we operate. Are we truly understanding how it goes? So let's just look at this right here briefly. And this is it. And we're getting up out of here. And I thank everybody for tuning in. I just wanted to have a nice little segment very briefly. Thank you and support and salute to the sister Lola for coming through. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and subscribe. Lola, listen, you got to tell them where to go because I can't find them myself. God dang it. I already told you.
No, you gotta type in Game of Dragons and then type in Oshun because that name is too similar to Game of Thrones, and you know how that is. And even with the love experience, you gotta type in my name Oshun because Raheem Devon is just dominating that whole scenario there.
My bad. Thank you. All right, cool beans. So on this last little piece right here, before we get up out of here, this is the main thing that I've been trying to figure out when it comes to now, Lola. Let me ask you this: do you really believe that the eyes is the window to the soul?
In a sense, yeah.
Okay. Man, do you believe that looking at a person that you can tell where it is that they're coming from in life? Like,
Say that.
Can you tell where a person is coming from in life? Can you tell if you're able to actually recognize where the health factors come in? Can you see that?
You gotta have a developed eye to be able to see somebody and then be able to tell where they're from or where they're going based on the condition of their exterior. When you've been around certain diseases long enough, you can see it on people even if they don't see it on themselves. I tend to be able to spot when somebody's having a liver problem just based on the color of their hands, the texture of their skin. I can tell. Just certain stuff like that.
Wait. You said texture, the skin, all of that. You for real?
You can tell when somebody's having liver problems. If you pay attention enough, you can tell the difference between liver problems and let's say kidney disease, right? Or something
gout, all of that.
Yeah. You can typically tell different.
So again, we're all about the spirituality, health, and development over here. So Lola, how much of this do you think what you was just speaking about? It's so funny you speak about it, my sis.
You may have heard the saying that the eye is a window to the soul. Well, as ophthalmologists, we believe that the eye is a window to the body. It's a window to what we call systemic disorders, like diabetes or high blood pressure. And we can see signs of these when we look at the eye. When you study heart disease, for example, you'll listen to the heart, but with the eye, you actually look at it with a microscope. You can actually see brain tissue, which is the retina, and you can see blood vessels. And if you look carefully, you can actually...
Absolutely amazing.
Even see red blood cells as they zip through the capillaries. Over 1/3 of all known genetic syndromes involve the eye. We can see signs of nutritional deficits, nerve damage in the back of the eye, in vitamin B complex deficiency.
Now, again, I'm showing this. I got you, Lola. We about to get up out of here. This is it right here. We're going to comment on this and we're going to cut it out, just so you know. The eyes are the window to the soul. The soul is the replication of life and what it is and your vibrantness, everything. You ever heard of somebody who walks around as a dead soul or the whole nine. It's something about looking into a person's eyes. And you know what I find fascinating, Lola? Why do celebrities have such this big thing with wearing shades? They always wear shades in interviews because we know that it comes to a point where they don't want us to look into the eyes of their souls. Well, let's go.
Stress is another big one, and it can cause the cells behind the eye to start leaking fluid. It's like having a blister in the retina. And you can see it here, this yellowed area. Here we're looking at the normal retina through our slit lamp biomicroscope. You can see the orangish color of the retina. You can see the blood vessels that course over the retina. You can also see the nerve that connects the back of the eye to the brain. This patient has a really interesting finding in the iris. We call these posterior synechii. These little brown spots.
I know it's boring to some people. It's only got dang it, a minute and something left. We are going to learn something today, people. And that ain't for you, though. You know what I'm saying? For those who just don't get it, man, there are things, the little microscopic aspects of life that we just, man, want to be taking time to pay attention to. You have no idea what it is that you can learn and what it is that you can find out when you just take that quick moment. Let's go ahead and get to it so we can get up out of here. I don't want to hold us up. I know you got to go, fam.
Are adhesions between the iris and the lens. They're signs of inflammation, which can often indicate inflammation that's occurring or occurred in the body itself. In this patient, we have a little microscopic spot of blood on the white part of the eye. This little spot of blood is indicative of one of several different things. 6 out of 10 times it's caused by high blood pressure. This patient is a diabetic, and he has these small blood vessel changes in his retina. And so when we find this, we know that this patient needs to take extra care to control his or her health. So these indicators can often be seen in the eye before they can be seen anywhere else. Really, the eye is such an important window to our bodies and our health.
All right. There we go, fam. So we can go ahead and end it off on that.
Yeah, from a scientific,
No, I'm sorry. No, I was just saying, go ahead.
From a scientific aspect, I get what they're saying, and it is true. However, I think when people say the eyes are a window to the soul, that's more of an abstraction of something that is beyond the physical. So, from a doctor's point, sure, they look at the eye and they can tell, a lot of things. You could do the same thing with people's hands and nails. You can tell what kind of, condition they're in based on their hands and nails. You can also tell what kind of condition people are in based on something as simple as, their hair. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're sensitive enough like that. But I get what they're saying. It doesn't negate other things. So.
Lola, one thing I learned throughout my years of spiritual search, there is no separation between science and the spiritual realm. Now, what it is that we just looked at, yeah, that's physical. Now watch this. The diabetes, right? The high blood pressure. Watch. See, you stopped at the surface level. You saw that first layer, which is just the eye. It's a lot deeper than that. It is said we go to the soul, Lola. That soul is, how did the high blood pressure get there? Is that person stressed? What do they go through in their life? It's a connection. Nah, Lola.
Huh?
Lola. Briefly, it's a connection. what it is that science is looking at. See, the thing is that we keep on trying to figure out is which is more right, the science or the spiritual. What a lot of people don't realize is how we all keep missing the mark is science that we discover is supposed to be the proof of how real the spiritual really is. That's why there's so many things in science we just can't explain.
Well, it's hard to explain connections between worlds where there's no grounding or basis that you can physically put your hands on. Like when you have certain deficiencies, right? What does that mean spiritually? It's hard to connect that. You have to really be a professional to sit and connect the health deficiencies, or let's say amino acids in your body, right, and hormones. You know, a spiritual problem, right? Like that's extra deep. So it's not easy. So that's why those worlds tend to complement each other, but not directly. I know, for instance, when people have certain cravings, it means that there's certain things going on in their life that you can almost pinpoint.
That's
and
true.
say with a surety, well, this is what's going on. But that's very topical. You can even research that, but I would say that it's a hard one to really explain, because there's certain things we know, but it's hard to put it into words because you just have to know to know. And science typically, all science is a methodology of coming to a conclusion that's factually based. It's just a methodology, but science, in a sense, is limited. And because of that limit, it is not able to fully explain all that there is, and we kind of, even scientists know that.
Okay, so to land it before we get up out of here, I would say this on my final thoughts. I do believe that there is definitely a connection between the spiritual and the scientifical. And the fact is that even scientists to this very day have come to the conclusion that there is something that created all of this. The very scientists and the very minds and thoughts of the world of numbers and calculations have actually come to the conclusion something had to have coordinated this. So all I'm saying is that, in a nutshell, there is no separation with that. That right there, again, now, as basic as it may be, that right there with the health and everything, in my personal view, right? My personal view, Lola, salute sis. I see that more so as a factor of that is what science is letting us know, that there's a connection to what a person physically goes through in a spiritual sense and how we're able to actually read it. Like, I want you to think about it. Like, do you really believe like those little like machines when they trying to read like where a ghost is, that's real? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, listen, science has always tried to figure out how can we detect the other side. See, that's not as basic as you think. That really is a window. So when we're looking at this right here, it's a window. That is a gateway to what possibly has been going on for oh so long in that individual. That's all I'm saying on that. There is no separation, but I digress. My mic is muted. Get your part in so we can get up out of here, sis.
I would largely agree. I would just kind of add that, for instance, when with the machines to try to measure a ghost, I'll be honest with you, that is to say that people since the beginning of time has been saying that there's more to this existence than just our existence. There's people that they exist in a different way. People been saying that, but because we don't really believe ourselves and we think we all crazy, we want to be able to prove it in a outside scientific way so that we can, let's say, validate what we already know. And that's what that, at least for me, that's what that scientific pull is for. When you know something exists, but because you've experienced it, like in the flesh, but you kind of is real or not, and you need science to prove it with a machine. Because if it come out, you definitely will believe it. But if you experience it on your own, you'll always live in a certain level of doubt. That is what I see science becoming. You see what I'm saying? And not that that's necessarily all wrong, but that happened. But yeah, I would largely agree.
All right. Okay. And with that being said, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Lo, I appreciate you for sliding through for the night. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here. I'm not even going to hold us. And this is exactly how we're going to end this one right here. So we're going to end this one on this note right here. Y'all already know it's DC Flavor, baby. Let's get the go going. Lone Star, County Kings, 010, come on. We about to do it again. Let's get it. I'm about to do it again. Come on. I'm about to do it again. Come on. I'm about to do it again. Come on. Look, don't nobody keep it fresh like me. Damn right, it's Lone Star or the SPIT. I'll break down the beat, bring the track to his knees. I'm nowhere close to God, but these streets love me. No one on your corner be this vicious on the mic. I'm like Jordan with his Wheaties, you like Grant Hill on Sprite. Them coppers can't stop us, sweeter than Betty Crocker. Daytime or night, I'm rocking my hater blockers. Creeping on the come up like I'm Bone Thugs in Harmony. Feeling like I'm Puppet Combs, ain't nobody stopping me. Move deeper in the birds, the feds still watching me. My Celsius is 1,000, ain't nobody hot as me. You say you higher than a plane, well I'm out the galaxy. You rolling up that regular, I'm chiefing on astronomy. Float like carpets, aim and bang targets. Hungry for this throne like I'm king of the Spartans. I'm good, look, I'm about to do it again, come on. I'm about to do it again, come on. Look, I stand like the man that I'm supposed to. Slackers won't stop my progress cause I'm focused. Red carpet, star stunted, hold up, ain't no close up. Max level, no limit, training like a soldier. Real name is biblical, Archangel General. Post like a podium, but move like petroleum. Glide when I fly by, like a bird I'm so high. Cruising through these city streets, I'm leaning when I ride by. Rappers run their mouth out, rip every last one of you. Still to this day, star skills are untouchable. Blow sets, relieve stress, sip tea and play Cheshire King's corner, bad step. Checkmate, now who's next? Observe and analyze, combine and strategize. Understand to overcome, so my money multiplies. Still putting God first, praying to the heaven skies. I'm working on my stamina, I'm fully energized. Yes, and I'ma do this till the day I die. Rhymes like forensic files, cause I bring the homicide. Boy, you need to kill yourself, cause when you flow the suicide, I be the respirator, keeping lyrics alive. Let's get it, come on. I'm about to do it again, come on. I'm about to do it again, come on. Look, in case you didn't know, understand, look, I be the best. I'm more seasoned than the Jeffrey Dahmer dinner guest. With more bars than you can make soap out of zest. I'm fully clean, county king on my conquest. A true champ, cause I conquer every contest. Back with my pen and pad, still so incredible. Star spits poison, my flows are unedible. Every time you elevate, I still stay ahead of you. I travel far while your mental stuck here on earth. My brain's a planet and my thoughts are the universe. A born leader, why you scared? I'ma do it first. I go hard, putting all of me in every verse. Years ago, God blessed me on this very turf. 11/7/1982, that be my date of birth. A born prince, raised to a county king. I never fell from a throne, but I've been through some things. But my struggles made me stronger and my strength has made me smarter. So I focus on my mentality and I go farther. Lone Star stays flaming, body like a human torch. They say sky's the limit, well I reach for God's torch. Let's get it, come on. I'm about to do it again, come on. I'm about to do it again, come on. Look. Yeah, I'm back and I still do my thing. Cloud 9 when I glide higher than a paper plane. But I still stay focused, never stutter, spitting flames. County King, representer, look star, be the name. I sit back and twist up, watch the sun lift up. All I wanna do is get this money, man, and stock up. Pigs never mind they biz, got my brother locked up. Was down for a minute, but you know I always pop up. Pressing blanks on the paper chase, I'm setting shop up. My rap statement crack, hit that third, bring it back. Like a train, I'm on the track, sharper than a thumbtack. I'm kinda like autumn, so rappers need to fall back. I flow with the seasons, spring, summer, winter. These are my thoughts as my world you have entered. So buckle up, enjoy the rap, don't worry, cause I'm by your side. And I also fly them County Kings be right on time. Yep, I'm about to do it again, come on. I'm about to do it again, come on, come on.